name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. Now, on our board here, we have our subject for this video, and it is the truth about reality. Actually, it doesn't exist. Actually, it does not exist. Oh, so this is going to be an interesting topic. And we're going to start off with a question. And the question is this: can you prove reality exists? Now, I'll give you a minute or two to think about that. Time's up. What was your conclusion? Hold that and let's see if it matches. Now, this is our usual proof. The senses are our proof that something is there outside of us. So how do we do that? Well, you might say, well, I can reach out and I can touch things. I can pick things up. I can feel stuff. And we're using our senses to verify that there is something there. Now, here's this question. What's there? Now, your senses can tell you nothing. If you'll recall from other videos, the senses tell you nothing. They can't. And I've said this in a few videos. The senses have no tongue. And you can check EI or Google or some other reference, and they'll tell you the same thing. The senses communicate nothing to you. That's not their function. Now, I have a video on that, and I'll put it up there, and it's called "The Senses Don't Do What You Think They Do." In the egoic world, we believe, my senses tell me everything that's going on outside of me. They tell you nothing. But you believe they do. What is telling you that information? Well, the senses supply, that's their function, to supply data. That's all they do. They tell you nothing, but they take outside information and convert it into electrical magnetic signals and transmit those to the mind. So what is telling you what's there? What is the mind? Oh, it is the mind, not the senses. It is the mind that tells you that something is outside of you, that something your senses are encountering. It's not the senses. It is, as all things are, an interpretation of the mind. Now, where's the mind? Mind is in a quantum state. The information that it comes up with based upon your past experiences is also in a quantum state. So it is quantum information in the form of qubits of data. And so you have these qubits, which are infinite possibilities of what might be there. So there's something that is there. What is the mind telling you? It's basically saying there is something there. So what is that something that the mind is telling you? It's energy. You are feeling energy. You are touching energy. That's all. There is nothing there but energy. But then why does it feel like a whiteboard? And how come it looks like one? Now, aren't the senses telling you that? No. It's an interpretation of the mind. The mind is interpreting that data based upon your life experiences and the memories that you created in relationship to that. And it takes that information. Now, what kind of information? It is chaotic and meaningless as comes through the senses. And here's the point. I said down here, I have given everything I encounter meaning for me based upon my experience. Now, if you look real close at that last statement, that is also the second lesson in A Course in Miracles. You know nothing outside of you except as what is interpreted by the mind of the chaotic and meaningless information as brought to you by the senses. So you see nothing as it is. You always see it as your unique interpretation through your unique created belief system. And from the beliefs that you have created from your memories. So you are doing the whole thing. In other videos, I said there's nothing out there that you encounter except yourself. You encounter only your interpretation of that input energy, that touching, feeling, seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting. I think that's all of them. So this is what you're doing. There is no reality because, why? Everything is in motion. Nothing is constant. And we're going to look at that now. I'm going to develop a model or two that will look at that fact that nothing is what you believe it is in the egoic world. Yet, and we'll look at some scientific approaches, yet that's your world. So now we're going to change. And here is our models for today. Now you're looking on here and you're going to see a very familiar sight, the Big Dipper, and how it looks in the night sky from certain locations, from US and Canada and areas over there, that's what the Big Dipper looks like. As you move away from those areas, it gets a little less easy to see. But most of it is right there. So let us look at a view of the Big Dipper. And here we have a view of the Big Dipper. And notice there are the little circles represent the stars. And in the Big Dipper, there are 7 stars. And if you look at it from view number 1, you see the Big Dipper. Now, if you look at it from view number 2, it's not the Big Dipper. So what is the reality? It depends on where you look at it. So what does that mean? It's relative. Just like Einstein said, everything is relative, nothing is fixed. Everything is moving. And of course, that's what the third Hermetic principle says. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. There is nothing that is in the same place the next moment. Boom! It's gone and a new universe arises. Now, so you can see from view number 2 that there is no Big Dipper. It's just your imagination. And so you imagine you see it here, and oh, it makes perfect sense. You look at the same 7 stars over there in view 2, there is no Big Dipper. So it's relative. Which one is real? It's relative. Don't you get the idea? There is no reality. Everything is shifting. So let us look at another iconic pattern. And down here we have, you gotta look close because I didn't draw it too good. The Earth going around the sun. Now you can see here that it is obvious that it's a circular pattern. It's obvious that it goes around the sun. Okay? It's not true. It's not true that it's a circular pattern. But we teach that in school. We teach it to our little children. We say, oh, the Earth goes around the sun and it's a circle. Or, oblong a little bit. Okay? But it's still going around the sun like this in a circular fashion. That's not true. Now, if we look at it from another point of view, over here, the sun is moving in relationship to the Milky Way. It's following its pattern, and the sun is moving at thousands of miles an hour. And the Earth is following it, but the pattern is a corkscrew pattern. That's the truth. Circular pattern, not the truth. But that's what we believe, and we teach our little children, and in college even, that the Earth goes around the sun. And that is true, but it's not a circular pattern. It's a corkscrew pattern. Your Christmas last year is not the same as it is this year. It is millions of miles in a different location. Also, but it looks the same. Now we get back to the other thing that I mentioned in the past. The truth is not important. What you believe is true, that's important. And if you believe this is a circular pattern, that's important for you. Is it true? Absolutely not. Do you believe it's a corkscrew pattern? Well, no. I believe it's a circle. You're believing a non-truth. How do you change that? Well, you listen to this channel and you get different information. The sun is moving. The sun is not fixed. The sun does not stay in the same location. It's constantly moving, which means the earth is constantly moving and never, ever in the same place. You are on the earth. You are never in the same place. You are also moving through this realm of what we call space-time. And now is the real mystery that space-time is disappearing. As we begin to look deeper into the patterns that are around us. So what is reality? We believe that reality is something that is permanent, that exists whether we are there or not. Isn't that true? What exists is energy in the form of interacting quantum fields. There is nothing fixed. There is no reality. And you create the only reality there is by your belief system. You pull in the information and now here, you got to get this. You're pulling in information that is shifting. The information is shifting because it's never the same. The infinite field of everything is never the same, but everything is there. Then you take that information through your lens of perception and throw out what doesn't meet your belief system. And so you high grade that material into what matches your belief system. Now that's kind of permanent, because when you get a belief, that's your belief forever until you change it. So on a day-to-day basis, no matter how much is changing outside of you, which it does every second, you take that information and end up with what you had yesterday. Not because the information stayed the same, but because you interpreted it through your fixed belief system the same way. So whatever is going on out here as the infinite field of everything, you're going to manipulate it in such a way. Of course, you're not consciously aware you're doing it. This is all done subconscious in the mind. And you are ending up with data that meets your belief system just like it did yesterday, even though the patterns have shifted and changed. And so you are developing a reliability, a reliable picture of the world that does not exist except inside of you. Then you take that picture, that creation, and you project it on top of this field of everything, and it matches perfectly. And you say, well, there, see? What I have created is the outside world. And because it happens so fast, and your conscious mind is so slow, you will believe that the pattern that you project was out here first. And that's what your conscious mind tells you. It tells you this outside is reality. And it's not and can never be. What is inside of you is reality. No, it's a creation based upon your belief system, and that creation is only yours. Now here's a caveat. Everything in your world is you. Everything in your world is your interpretation and therefore your construction, including me. And I have said that in other videos, and maybe you caught on, maybe you didn't. You never see me. You can't. You can only see your interpretation of me, which has been filtered through your belief system. You never see me. Now, I do the same to you. I never see you. But like you, I will believe I'm seeing you. You never see me, and I never see you. So what's real and what's your interpretation? You have your own world. You have your own creation. And everything in that is yours. There's nothing that isn't yours. And here I want to move a little bit and tell you, we're having a little tea. I got a little different cup because I forgot to do the dishes. I like the clear cup better, but because I like to see the color of the tea and how dark it is or how light it is. But this works just fine. This is a fusion tea between a black tea and oolong. And it has certain spices in it and vanilla and some other stuff, which I can't remember right now. But it was quite tasty. Now, let us look at A Course in Miracles and what the Course says. And here's what the Course says. The world you see does not exist because the place where you perceive it is not real. Oh, this is an illusion that you're in. You construct your world on a platform, on a stage that only exists inside of you. There is no reality. There's only your belief in the world that you have created. And that world only exists because of you. When you leave, all kinds of ways of leaving, that world is gone and never will be again. You are the creator of the only world and the only universe there is. When you change your belief system, the world, your current world, disappears and will never be again. And a new world will come into focus, which never was, and will always be there until you change your belief system. You are the creator of everything. Oh, that means you have responsibility. And we don't want to take responsibility. So we believe when we project that world that we create inside us and project it out, we disown it immediately. We say, oh no, that's not me. That's the outside world. Don't blame me for the way it is. And that's how projections work. They're an ego defense mechanism. Freud and his daughter Anna put that together. And there's about 18 of them, ego defense systems. Projection is only one. So, let me see, have we covered everything? You don't see me. I am independent from you, and I do exist, but you never will see me. You only see your interpretation of me based upon your belief system. And that's all I can do with you also. So how do we get closer to understanding this? Cleanse our lens of perception. Just because we know we're in illusion doesn't mean that we're not in the illusion and subject to the egoic belief system. We haven't changed that much. But it is a first step to begin to recognize it's an illusion. And there are glitches within that come for us to understand. The whole thing is unreal and is a simulation. We are creating a simulation of what we believe is outside of us. And we all have our own. Be good to yourself. This is an illusion, and we look forward to seeing you again, right here, where we'll always be in the illusion. Bye now.
Tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno d'intorno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto a dolcino d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto a dolcino d'amor. Non più avrai questi bei panacchini, quel cappello leggero galante, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante.